That's my beer, Ginger Nuts. Batch brewing. Not sure if you can see that. Alright, I'm on the good internet. My layout looks alright. 3 Max Physics works, so that's good. Robo Voice is still gone, I'm hoping. I'm on air at the moment, but I'm going to mount up on stream. What benches? Well, let's go to the hardware bot here. So my rig is the 1800X. I've had a couple of good first gen 8 cores. My very first 8 core that was good was 1700 non-X. I took a lot of the AMD 8 core records before Ryzen 2nd gen came out on that chip. Its only downfall is it's got a bad IMC. Then I got an 1800X back from AMD RMA, and I took a few more records with it, basically. Things like, what's something nice to show? Maybe the Cinebench is alright. At almost 5.4, beating Mr. DB, the Iranian guy. I have the current 32M record at 5.5. Yeah, it's a good chip basically. But the thing is, I haven't run... this GPU Pi was for Country Cup. It was on... I think it was not for Country Cup. Yes, I'm not sure why it's not showing up as part of the Country Cup competition here. Must be another hardware bug, but this is actually not my chip. This was a chip we benched that was supplied by AMD at the time, and it was a pretty horrible 1800X. For a first gen 8 core, especially an 1800X, which is supposed to be a higher bin, not to break 5.2 gigahertz, and this was not for lack of trying, is pretty damn bad. So this is my current best. It's still, 7th or whatever, or 8th for this chip. But the person I want to catch is, I want to catch Der Bauer, who has a launch day sub up here at 5.44, but on the old version of GPU Pi. So this is my main thing, because this is, I think, 34 hardware points. Yeah, 34.6 hardware points. And yeah, I don't think the frequency is that amazing. RAM doesn't do very much on first gen. On second gen it does something for some reason, and he's on the old GPU Pi, so I should be able to catch this. I also want to attempt W prime 32M again, maybe frequency if I feel like it. Every other relevant record is mine. I'm gonna easily get the Cinebench 2003, and I'm gonna go for 11.5. 100M for some reason is mine already. It's probably because there's no LN2 subs. Oh no, it's Max Beaches. Okay, so I only have a single stage. Okay, 100M I have to do as well. So it's 100M, 1B, the two older Cinebenches, and W prime 32M is what I'm going to go for. And then pretty much that's going to be it for this chip. I wouldn't imagine there being any other reason to run it cold again. I may even sell it, even though it's a really good chip. I could run GPU Pi 3.3, but yeah, let's not worry about that. Geekbench 4 multi maybe. Maybe frequency 5.8. Let's see. All right, back to the setup. I just got to install some. This is a fresh OS. I like my little Ryzen background here. Oh, and my chat. This is a really retarded, stupid thing, but my subscribers emote works again now, because it just needs to be in front of a background that's not black. So there we go. So let's get the two GPU Pis moved over. Should be pretty easy. And 3 Mark 11 physics, obviously, as well, to beat White Shark, I think. I'm not going to enable real-time clock yet. What else do we need? We need the 2 older Cinebenches. And I'm going to mount up the pod on stream. Yeah, my old bench OS for some reason didn't let me run 3 Mark 11 anymore. I'm really happy with the results I got yesterday on the 7820X. It was so unexpected. I got like a few global 4ths and 5ths in the 8 core categories, and I really thought the chip was rubbish. I must have been setting V in too high on single stage or something. I was having trouble even getting 5 gigahertz on single stage, and now I was actually quite close to 6 gigahertz for some multi-core benches on LN2, which is just insane. It drinks so much LN2 though. I on the 4K overkill bench, the temperature would drop 20 degrees from the start to the end of the bench, even if I'm pouring like basically just continuously. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. The F1 Dark obviously potentially doesn't really sort of cope with that as well as the Venom would, but I needed a temperature control, so it all makes sense. Really looking forward to the T-Rex coming out. Really, really looking forward to it. I've heard good things about it. It feels good to be back benching first gen Ryzen. It's where it all started. I think I tried for 8 gigahertz before I ever benched Ryzen cold, but Ryzen was pretty much the first thing that I benched cold. So Ginger Nuts, do you have this this batch brewing stuff down where you are in the other part of the country, the unnamed part of the country that you're from? Let's see. So the way I should no, you don't. I must send you a case. So I think the way to do this is to run 3 Mark 11 and run the Cinebenches and then run GPU Pi last and W prime as well, because I don't want to enable and disable high precision timer. All right, let's mount the. Oh, by the way, my results yesterday were on reused paste as well, on a reused mount, so that was kind of screwed up. But it's all fake news, guys. The paste you use actually doesn't matter. We had systems running at 6 gigahertz on LN2 once without any paste whatsoever. So there you go. All right. Hopefully you can still hear me. Let me know if you can't. I'm going to try and mount this thing as quickly as possible. Well, first I'm going to shut down the system, of course. Shutting down the system might be a good idea. Okay, there we go. So ask me anything. This is going to be a chill stream. I know how to bench Ryzen, probably with my eyes closed at this point. So who's going to win the World Cup final, for example? Or was anybody watching Wimbledon yesterday? What a crazy semi-final that was. What a crazy, crazy semi-final. Someone started a timer. Or you know the music? Like the music from Countdown, that British show about coming up with anagrams. The thing I love about AM4 too is you don't have to remember the hold positions on your heater or your back plate. It's just so easy. Okay. I'm going to show you later. I have so little thermal paste left. I'm going to have to buy some England for the World Cup. I look. I know you. You live in a part of the country that's, I don't want to say backwards, but it's a little bit. It's a little bit. It works on its own sort of speed, its own pace of life. But even so, I'm a bit surprised that you don't know that England has been, or that you're pretending to not know that England has been knocked out of the World Cup. Your choices are Croatia or France, not England. England is out. Who won that game actually for third? Not that it's in any way relevant. Yeah, I stayed up quite late last night to watch my girl Angie Kerber win her third Grand Slam in Wimbledon. That was pretty nice. But unfortunately, my man Rafa Nadal didn't win. That was a huge disappointment. I think he completely got screwed over by Djokovic refusing to allow the roof to be opened even though it was sunny. I think that's extremely unsportsmanlike behavior. I mean, he's better indoors than outdoors, but I mean, he's ruining a semi-final for everybody watching, you know, in order to be able to win. I suppose that's the definition of a competitor, but still, I think it's just horrid. Croatia then they make better food. You don't follow anything. That's probably a good policy, to be honest. I do sometimes get carried away a little bit by some sports. Staying up until all hours of the night. This is a very random stream, I have to say. I usually don't stream on Sunday nights. But I have quite a bit of LN2 left. About 55 litres. And this is a score I just need to get out. I wouldn't say it's guaranteed, but it's the sort of thing that if the system is running the way it has run in the past, this is gonna be possible, very, very possible to get this, to beat Devour, to get this score in. Have a kid or three. No, I'm fine. I don't need any kids. They get in the way of overclocking, you see. I mean, I do know some people who use their, kids to press the button overclocking and stuff, but I don't think that's really as useful as it might seem. I could imagine kids being good at looping XTU though. Maybe that's that's the way to utilize your kids. Keep pressing the button next to you. We had our coldest night of the year so far last night here in Australia, Sydney, Australia. 5 degrees positive. That's very, very cold for this part of the world. Extremely cold. Unusually cold, actually. Now, of course, the Europeans are going to chime in and say, what? +5? We all wear, shorts and t-shirts in that kind of weather. I know, but I'm just saying, in relative terms, 5 degrees is very cold for here. So here's my recycled, reused, partially, you know, crusty, bad old Gelite Extreme, but it's the only paste I've got, and it did okay yesterday on the other chip, so I don't think I'm even going to bother with a spread, to be honest. Making a mark for max valid. Overclock the kids. Alright. What do you mean by making a mark with max valid? How is that board insulated? It isn't. And it's seen about 80, maybe 90 hours of cold action, and it's had absolutely no issues. On AMD, you can pull down so quickly, especially on a Venom, that there's no real chance of condensation building up. I also use a socket heater, which works, which helps a lot. But I just added some blue tack, so I suppose that's part of the insulation, if you want to count it as that. I'm going to try something a bit different here and Zorch a little bit to just activate the paste. It's also good for cleaning the pot, just to Zorch a bit. Don't want to do it too much, because that kills the chip. So that's how I killed an FM2 chip when I was delitting it, or attempting to delit it. The delit went fine physically, but I over-Zorched the IHS. It was a 6300 lock chip, I don't really care. Is that how I apply paste? Yeah, look. Absolutely. On AMD, it really isn't as critical as people make it out to be. Now, saying that, if my bench session today doesn't go very well, then it may be the paste, but that's because the paste is absolutely ancient, not because of the application method, I would assume. But it's a little bit of a dark art, everyone has their own application method and their own superstitions about how to apply paste, so I'm not here to tell anybody anything about how to do it or how not to do it. All I'm saying is, from session to session, I really haven't seen much of an improvement in megahertz reached or anything like that with different application methods. So especially not on AMD on the Venom. I think if you had an F1 on Skylake X or any of the 1151 chips, I could see how that could influence it a lot more, especially because of the cracking issue. Just put it on and spread. Exactly. Put my towels on there because of the ice buildup, and when the ice trickles down the side of the pot, it may get melted by the socket heater. It just depends on how many reboots there are and what temps I'm at and stuff. But yeah, in general, if there was let's say if there was very little humidity in the air, you could actually go entirely without anything in terms of installation. This board has been bent and shipped and I don't know, so many things have been done to this board, and it just keeps on going. It occasionally drops a memory channel. Slots don't matter. Wrong slots. Oh, wrong memory slots, yeah. That's a good pickup, actually. They're wrong for two different reasons. The gray slots are faster, but also you want your memory as far away from the processor as possible. So, yeah, thanks for that, White Shark. You're being very nice considering I'm about to try to beat your 3D Mark 11 physics. Maybe you want it to be beaten. Who knows? Maybe you want the anxiety gone of being global first. Well, AMD global first for 8-core. Maybe you just can't handle that. One more sheet and I'm done. Alright, should be exciting. My temp probe is still misconfigured, calibrated, in case anybody, first of all, that's the reason it's not showing up. I don't have a video camera set up for it. And secondly, yeah, I mean, even if I had it on video, I'd constantly have to explain the fact that full pot is minus 140. So screw that, let's just leave it out there, out of here, and shouldn't be too long of a session anyway. Just gotta reconnect my SATA. If I knew how. Okay, that's a post. Just need some ventilation. At this rate, it might be a long session. Yes. I think you've picked up on that. The reason me hammering the keyboard button didn't do anything is because I forgot to reconnect the keyboard and mouse. So yes, at this rate, it will be a long session. Let's hit reboot. Okay, almost there. Just gonna add The fan, the very, very important fan. Okay. Can you see the postcode okay? It's looking like it might be a little bit too far away. Let me fix that. Yeah, I don't know, that's not ideal. It's A9 anyway. Alright. Let's restart the capture card. Hello, capture card. Okay, maybe we won't have any in BIOS. I'll be quick about BIOS anyway. I can describe. So obviously, I want to downclock. May as well go to this view. I'm going to start with 2133 memory because sometimes dropping the memory divider actually gives you better performance, better core. And since GPUPy doesn't care about... Hold on, we want to do physics first. Okay, let's still go 2133. I'm going to pour a little bit. There it is, the first drops of LN2 tonight. Magical. Okay, let's go 2666. Capture card. What is wrong with you? You usually work in BIOS. I'll do the Cinebenches first, actually. I have a new BIOS. Pretty recent one. capture card isn't dead, IRL. Yeah, it does make some difference for Cinebench. Mostly because of the Encore, to be honest. I mean, I'm trying to say it makes more difference for Ryzen in Cinebench because you have to think about the Encore as well. Okay, this is turning into a problem. What's going on with this capture card? This hopefully will be the last stream restart, but it's actually an OBS restart I need, not a stream restart.